She didn't have to tell him. She could have kept it buried, locked away in the same place. She keeps everything else that makes her human and vulnerable and real. She has kept this secret through medical school, through residency, through every performance review and credentialing process and high-stakes moment in her career. She has built an entire professional identity around being unshakable. And then, in a Pittsburgh emergency room, in the middle of a season that has tested every single character to their absolute limit, Dr. Al-Hashimi looked at Dr. Robby and told him the truth. She has a seizure disorder, and nothing in the Pitt Season 2 is going to be the same after that. If you've been watching this season, you already know that the show has been doing something quietly extraordinary. It's not just a medical drama. It's a pressure cooker. Every episode takes place in real time. Every shift strips another layer off these characters. And by the time we hit episode 14, the audience has been watching people operate right at the edge of what they can handle, professionally, emotionally, psychologically. The Pit doesn't give you clean resolutions. It gives you people trying, failing, hiding, surviving. And Dr. Al-Hashimi has been one of the most compelling mysteries of the entire season. From the beginning, she has been positioned as someone in opposition to Robby. She arrived carrying institutional authority, administrative pressure, the weight of decisions that have to be made at the system's level rather than the bedside level. And Robby, who is entirely a bedside doctor, a man whose entire identity is built around showing up for individual patients in individual moments, looked at her and saw everything he distrusts about medicine becoming bureaucratic, about healing becoming a performance metric. The tension between them has been simmering all season. Loaded silences, clipped exchanges. Two people who are clearly, obviously, not telling each other the whole truth about anything. But here's what the show has been slowly, carefully building underneath all of that tension. These two people are not opposites. They are mirrors. They're both carrying wounds they haven't let anyone treat. They're both operating behind carefully maintained professional facades that have kept them functional and kept other people at a safe distance. They've both made the decision, somewhere along the way, to survive by controlling what other people know about them. And episode 14 is the moment where that architecture, for Al-Hashimi at least, begins to crack open. The scene itself is the kind of moment that great television builds to without you fully realizing it's been building. Al-Hashimi doesn't walk into it announcing that she has something to confess. It doesn't happen in a dramatic confrontation. It happens in the particular intimate exhaustion of a long shift, the way that people sometimes say things late at night that they would never say in daylight, in a meeting room with their guard fully assembled. She tells Robby about the seizures, about the disorder she has been managing, concealing, navigating around for her entire career, about the thing that in the wrong hands could be used to question her competency, her fitness to practice, her right to hold the position she's worked her entire life to occupy. She hands him that, voluntarily. And the question that hangs over every second after is, why? Because here's what's fascinating about this moment, if you really sit with it. Al-Hashimi is not naive. She is one of the sharpest, most strategically intelligent characters in the show. She doesn't say things accidentally. She doesn't make impulsive emotional confessions without understanding the implications. So when she chooses to tell Robby, specifically Robby, in this specific moment, it's not weakness. It's a calculated act of vulnerability, which is a very different thing. She isn't appealing to his medical judgment. She's not filing a disclosure or managing a liability. She's speaking to the part of Robby that she has watched all season. The part that sits with dying patients, that fights for people the system has already written off, that feels things so deeply he's nearly broken under the weight of his own compassion. She's not talking to his brain. She's talking to his heart. And she's doing it because she has figured out something important, that the only way to reach Robby, the only way to build something real between them rather than just a functional professional truce, is to show him that she bleeds too. That is extraordinary writing. And it recontextualizes everything. Think about every moment of friction between them this season with this new information. Every time Al-Hashimi made a decision that seemed cold or bureaucratic or disconnected from patient reality, she was also a person managing a secret that could end her career. Every time she pushed back against Robby's emotional approach, she was also privately living with a vulnerability that would have made her look exactly like the kind of doctor she was criticizing him for being. She's been arguing for institutional stability while privately dependent on personal concealment. That's not hypocrisy. That's survival. And it gives her entire arc this season a layer of tragedy that wasn't fully visible until now. And Robby. Let's talk about Robby, because his reaction to this revelation is going to define the final stretch of the season more than almost anything else. Dr. Robby is not a simple character. He has been portrayed all season as someone who is genuinely, almost painfully good, devoted to his patients, committed to the emotional truth of medicine, willing to absorb enormous personal costs to do what he believes is right. But he is also someone who has been burned, who has learned, through hard experience, that institutions and the people who represent them will eventually ask you to compromise the things you care about most. He has been suspicious of Al-Hashimi precisely because she represents institutional power, because he has seen that power used badly before. But now she's told him something that makes her vulnerable to that same institutional power. She's handed him information that, in a different kind of person, could be weaponized. She's shown him that she is not the system. She's a person inside the system, doing what people inside systems always do, trying to survive without losing themselves entirely. How does Robby hold that?